Welcome to the Public Opinion Court, where the truth ain't reality, but opinions are. It's been forever since I've been on my channel, and sorry for the long drought. But I've been working on a lot of things on other projects. I've been co-hosting and moderating on a lot of different panels due to what's going on in the country. So I've literally neglected my YouTube channel, but I am so close to 1,000 subscribers so that I can officially be monetized on this site, on YouTube, on my page. And it's been a journey. Like, my pages have been going viral after viral after viral since September. So that's pretty much what I've been trying to do, is maintain that, maintain work, maintain my mental, maintain, a social life, being an auntie, all the amazing things, and keeping my foot on the district attorney of Dallas County motherfucking neck. So that's what I've been doing. And that's the reason why we're here tonight, because at the Public Opinion Court, we give it to you real, raw, unfiltered, unbiased, but we give you different perspectives so that you can see, it's many different angles. And the election season is upon us. In Dallas County, there are major races from the district attorney's office, which I feel is the most important office, the law enforcement agency within the city and the state. We have, of course, Senate races, JP, all different judges. We have a lot going on, but I wanted to focus specifically on the district attorney's race, because I told him back in March that if his little evil ass decides to run again, I am going to let every Black woman, minority, know that this man does not care about the residents of Dallas County. He is an evil, corrupt man in one of the highest agencies that facilitate and make sure justice is served for not only the accused, but for victims. So I've been on a campaign trail, and I wanted to make sure that as a resident of Dallas County, that I am in the streets, making sure that I am asking the hard questions so that these candidates cannot play in y'all face, because they've been playing in y'all motherfucking face. And I'm going to tell you, that little leprechaun, John Cruezot, has been playing in y'all face for 8 years. So let's dive into it. And the reason why this particular race is so important is because you have an African-American man in John Creuzot that used to be a Republican. And when we were at the height of Black excellence, minority excellence in the Dallas County District Attorney's office, when Craig Watkins was the district attorney, he decided that he was going to help Susan Hawk take Craig Watkins down, because he knew his little measly ass couldn't do it. Because he can never go up against a man. He's like Trump. He only likes to fight women. It's particularly his drug of choice when fighting women is Black women. His drug of choice when respecting women is white women. So once he saw an opening to return to be a Democrat, that's exactly what he did. And that's how he's been at the DA's office for 8 long, miserable years. And I want to strategically talk about the questions that I asked him, because he lied. The little leprechaun got his little evil ass up there. He was so mad when he saw me because, baby, I'm going to ask the fucking question. You don't scare me. Your homeboy, who is the first assistant who has committed federal crimes, don't fucking scare me. I told y'all, y'all fucked around and found out about fucking with the wrong one. And y'all found the right Black woman that's going to keep my foot in your ass. And it's going to set up shop because it has set up shop. So let's get into what went down at the first election campaign stop that I went on. So I went to the Dallas Examiner's candidate forum that was on Monday, February the 2nd. And in this forum, they had candidates from different areas of the election who were running for seats, running for legislation, you name it. They had the ability to have a Q&A against their opponents if they had any. So I went because I'm exercising my right to keep my foot on his motherfucking neck. And that's exactly what I did with the question that I asked, because they had a Q&A question opportunity for individuals who were there. And the one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask my motherfucking question. You ain't going to stop me from asking a question. I want you to feel every inch of the hate that you weigh and you carry around little old me. I want you to feel it. When I say this little leprechaun was steaming, he was so mad. He's like, damn, we ain't took this bitch out yet. No, motherfucker, you ain't took me out yet. You still ain't gonna take me out. So let me get to the question that I asked the little leprechaun. And I got it here in my phone. So I asked the little leprechaun, because he stated, one thing about me, I'm going to take your statement, I'm going to flip it, I'm going to reverse it, and I'm going to use it against your motherfucking ass. And that's exactly what I did. See, I like to listen closely to what you say so I can talk about what you're not saying, okay? So I asked a question. I said to the little leprechaun that could, you stated, in the entire breadth of the DA's office and how it runs. Let's talk about how are you fit to remain a Dallas County DA when under your leadership, Black prosecutors have been unequally targeted, terminated, falsely claiming they were not following office policies that the Texas Workforce Commission record stated differently, with every appeal that was filed against these employees was overturned and ruled in their favor, because y'all don't like to follow fucking rules. I also stated, with the current administration having the highest turnover rate of minority prosecutors in almost 20 years, higher than when Faith Johnson was the district attorney, higher than when Craig Watkins was the district attorney. If elected, what specific steps will you take to stop the revolving door to retain qualified minority prosecutors in a predominantly minority county so that they can see individuals that look like them when they come to the courtroom? Y'all want to see what this little short leprechaun said? Hold on, let's cue the receipts.
So you all, more prosecutors.
Let's see what the little leprechaun had to say, because he lied, and we're going to get into these lies.
First of all, the administration for my office is 50%, okay, or more, people of color, okay? That's the administration. That includes me, that includes my first assistant, that includes bureau chiefs and felony chiefs, okay? Many of the prosecutors who are chiefs of the courts, we do actively go out and find and search out people of color. We want people who speak Spanish. We want Hispanic people because we have a huge Hispanic constituency, so to speak, either as witnesses or people who are charged with crimes. And as far as what has happened in the last 20 years in the DA's office, I can't be responsible for all of that. I'm sorry. Okay? But I know what I've done. Okay? And let me tell you what I won't tolerate. I don't care what you look like. Okay? If you lie to a judge, you can't work in the DA's office.
Oh.
If you hide evidence, go ask Richard Miles what that means. You can't work in the DA's office.
So before we get into his opponent, Amber Gibbons, former judge of the 282nd, when I tell you that little leprechaun got up there and lied his motherfucking ass out, see, this is the thing with lawyers. See, people usually become lawyers because they can't do math. And I could tell that was one of his deficiencies. He can't fucking add. And he can't fucking process, because if this little fucking leprechaun would have actually learned about his fucking office, he would know those numbers are just not even inaccurate. It is a fucking deplorable, disgusting lie. So let's get into what his opponent, Judge Amber Gibbons, former judge of the 282nd, had to, say, because she had some receipts, and especially receipts on how he treats Black prosecutors. And he's a Black man. But I'm gonna talk about what he really is in a second.
So, you all, more prosecutors of color have been fired than men and women exonerated in the last 8 years under the current administration. I'll say it again. More prosecutors of color have been fired from this DA's office than there have been men and women exonerated. Okay.
Did she lie? Did she fucking lie? No, she didn't.
And so that's key, because the community should be reflected in your office. Retention should not be an issue. I could ask them, but there are at least a handful of them here today that have been fired from the DA's office, right? And so that's key, because Mr. Watkins created an office where you knew that the community was represented in that office, and his policies reflected the same. And so when you have a DA's office that does not reflect the community, that's a problem, because that is not only about it's about your charging decisions. It's about how you treat people as prosecutors, and the transparency in the way you make offers across the board to people that are Black and brown. Because if you're not treating your prosecutors fairly,
we can just drop the fucking mic right there, because not one lie was told. So before we get into the actual statistics or the receipts of the lies that this little leprechaun got his little line ass up there to say, but he should have known when he saw Big Dog in the motherfucking building that I know the real. And I was gonna clock his motherfucking ass, because he should have took me out when he had the fucking chance. But see, you only, just like in litigation, you get one bite at the fucking apple. That bite didn't bite back, did it? Okay, I know. So he made some really false statements about the makeup of Dallas County District Attorney's Office since he's taken office. I have worked under 3 administrations. I interned for the Craig Watkins administration, which is what motivated me to want to work in that environment. Then I worked for the Susan Hogg turned Faith Johnson administration, the lowest turnover rate from Craig Watkins to Faith Johnson. The turnover rate was few, far in between, and it was very diverse, and it represented the makeup of Dallas County. Dallas County is minority adjacent. Dallas County is populated with more minorities than white Americans. It is populated by minorities. Minorities make up the largest population in Dallas County. So when this little leprechaun gets into office, we started to see his white-only mentality. He wanted white prosecutors. He protected white prosecutors. His drug of choice was white prosecutors. And Black prosecutors were allowed to be lied on, mentally abused. They were allowed to be talked to any kind of way, disrespected, demeaned, and wrongfully terminated. But this is a Black man in America, but not this Black man. So he made a statement saying that 50% of his administration is, which administration is people in leadership at the DA's office, is minority and white based. It's like equal. That's an equal ass lie because I got the receipts. So why would he lie like that? Let's go over the list, the makeup, because the receipts, all you had to do, little leprechaun, is pull up your motherfucking organization chart and do the same shit that I did. But your little lazy ass didn't do that because, one, you don't be doing no motherfucking work. You just be out here trying to enrich yourself and not enrich the residents of Dallas County with fair and equal justice and the makeup of the individuals that work for you, so it can be a fair and just process. So this motherfucker, because I did say this is the John Creuzot Dallas County or Dallas District Attorney white only DA's list, because he is very white approved. If it was white, he won it. If it's Black, So he said 50%, 36 out of 48 DAs in leadership roles are held by white prosecutors. So where the fuck did you get 50% at, little leprechaun? Where the fuck did you get 50% from? You know damn well your office is heavily white populated because that's what you wanted. That's what you subscribed to. That's what you made sure happened in your administration. So let's go over the list, because 75% of the Dallas County leadership roles are held by white prosecutors. 25% are held by minorities in a minority populated city. Minorities make up for the majority of the population in Dallas County. So why the fuck is 75% of the prosecutors white? So when you look at the bureau leadership, you got the two whites up there. Then you go to the division chiefs. You got the three whites. Then you go to the district courts. White, 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 up and down the list. Then you go to the specialty divisions. White, 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 white. Did you pass math? Because your math is fucking off. And you got your rabbit ass up in front of the residents of Dallas County and lied like you always do. To have a heavy populated white administration in leadership, it says a lot about the character of the leader. Because we have a list of white prosecutors who are also known for doing bad things. So I wanted to bring this list to remind you all that he cannot be trusted. He definitely don't give a fuck about minorities. He don't give a fuck about Black women. He definitely don't give a fuck about Black men. But he loves a white only DA list. So you got to ask yourself, is this person fit to have 4 more years of discriminating against minorities in the that are residents of Dallas County? Because that's ultimately who it's going to affect. You're going before these prosecutors who don't look like you, have never walked a life like you, don't know what a struggle is, don't know how to get out there and hustle, don't know what to do when their backs are against the wall, have never stressed in their life, don't know what it's like to see crime, don't know what it's like to grow up with a drug-induced parent, don't know what it's like to have to work at such a young age in order to take care of yourself. He has an office of white prosecutors that are full of privilege. So tell me, how is that going to help you when you are going before to ask for a second chance and you have somebody that don't even know what a second chance look like because they're always being protected? That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say about that one. And speaking specifically to the breakdown of the population in Dallas County. Like I said, Dallas County is majority minority, with Hispanics alone making up the largest race in Dallas County. Then you have the whites, then you have African Americans, then you have Asian and other. So when you move the 40% plus of Hispanics and the 22% to 24% of Blacks or African Americans, that is a majority, overwhelmingly over 60%, and can be very well 70%. That is the makeup of Dallas County. And the DA's office having 75% white in leadership is a motherfucking problem. And it's a motherfucking disservice to the residents of Dallas County to not have a minority heavy based administration, leadership, and prosecutors, because your DA hates to see the progression of his own people at his expense. Think about that. Think about the makeup of having almost 70% of minority based in Dallas County, and you cannot go to a DA's office and see people that look like you at a high rate. How do you think these cases are being judged? How do you think these people cases are being missed and underrepresented? Because they don't have a minority based office. This is not fucking pre-civil rights like he treating his fucking office. Now, as I move into the next question that I asked, that was more centered around the makeup of the DA's office, because the one thing that I learned as a former prosecutor, when you have tone deaf white prosecutors that have never went through anything in life, the type of recommendations that they're offered on these cases would not reflect the reality of the accused and the reality of the entire makeup of the case. They will often get it wrong, and it would take a Black prosecutor like myself coming behind them and making it right. So I wanted to be very intentional with this little lion leprechaun to ask him the questions that are hard, that y'all need to know, that you all will never know unless somebody like myself that used to be on the inside comes and shake the shit up. this man stated that he would fire any prosecutor that lies to a judge and lies, creating a Brady violation, which is withholding evidence from the accused, which is the most egregious thing a prosecutor can do. He said he would fire them. He said it twice. Let's see what he said this time. Because I kept my foot on his motherfucking neck. Good evening. At a recent forum, both candidates stated that their administration would terminate prosecutors who lie to judges by committing sustained Brady violations on site. Under the current administration, courts have sustained 3 white prosecutors for Brady violations within the office for withholding critical evidence to defense attorneys, where 3 defendants affected were African American. Yet these 3 white prosecutors were rewarded with promotions, not terminations. If elected, how would your administration reconcile a stated policy of terminating prosecutors for Brady violations instead of rewarding prosecutors with promotions? What do y'all think he said? Do you think he told the truth? Or did he lie? Because remember, I know, and I know it's more, but these 3 have been promoted under his administration, under his nose. But they're not fired. Let's see what the little leprechaun had to say.
Has been promoted, certainly not in me. Okay. Number one, I made it perfectly clear last night that if you lie to the judge, if you don't turn over evidence, okay, if you do those types of things, either you can resign or you be terminated.
Thank you. Well, I have a list. I know who some of them are, and they'll be terminated once I get elected. Okay. One of them I called lackadaisical in the press in 2023, and I was recused from the case. Right? Because I think it's lackadaisical to have a murder case. Bones are found in a car, and you have yet to get them tested. That's a problem. She'll be one of the first to get fired. And that's a promise, right? And so it won't be tolerated. It won't be tolerated for the same reason why these exonerations need to stop being celebrated. Because we're creating a problem. And then 30 years later, we celebrate as if we've done something great, right? And so we have to, from day one, have ownership in the system. Right? Yesterday, you mentioned about yesterday in our comments, right? Yesterday, I told you all about an instance where I sent an email to the DA's office and I stated that there was a prosecutor in my courtroom who I watched for 6 months. Okay, so for 6 months I watched this prosecutor because this is what her question was about, prosecutors and accountability, right? And when I found the one case, right, after 6 months, knowing what was going on, I wanted to make sure it wasn't just an isolated incident where there were 2 defendants. One was Caucasian and one was black. The offense was the exact same. Their criminal histories mirrored each other. The Caucasian individual had the enhancement struck. Y'all attorneys in here know what that means, right? They also got the case reduced and got probation. The black individual pled guilty to those enhancements and got pen time. There was a prosecutor here yesterday with us at the museum. I meant to ask him to raise his hand because the email was sent to him. He's in leadership right now at the DA's office. So when you talk about accountability, I'll be taking note. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Tell you why I'm so motherfucking cold with this. It had gotten late at this particular forum. And it was like, we're not answering no more. We're not giving out any more Q&As. And I saw the little leprechaun start to work. So I waited strategically because this is the most important race in Dallas County, which is the DA. This is law enforcement. And we cannot afford 8 more years of this bullshit. I went and asked the organizer. I said, I know you said that there are no more questions, but this is the most important race. Can I ask a question? It's not long. And it was under a minute of a question that I asked. And she said, yeah. So I saw once they did their little two-step, they, talked about themselves for 3 minutes. They went to sit down. I was like, oh, we are going to allow questions. My hand went up like, I got you, motherfucker. You about to answer this question. We about to get you on a motherfucking record with another lie and see how you handle that shit. Because a lie love to see your ass coming because they know you gonna lie every motherfucking time. Why would you get up there and lie and say that you terminate white prosecutors who lie to the judge as well as commit Brady when I know the 3 ones specifically because I was in court with them when they committed it? And your ass ain't blink, ain't sink, ain't throw a fit, and ain't hand out or terminate any motherfucking thing. In fact, you have promoted these 3 to leadership positions in your office under your nose at your fucking direction. Should I release the names? Should I upload the names? Because I think Dallas County deserves the truth about what you allow in your administration. The 75% of white people that are in leadership in a majority minority county. Yeah, I think I should release the names. Should I release them right now? Because it's more than 3. And they're all white. And I've all worked with them. And I know what courts they were in. I know what judges handed down the rulings. I know what kind of case it was. One was a murder, one was a manslaughter. Another one was gang related. And then there's more with other ones. So I think this deserves a part 2. Yeah, I think it deserves a part 2. And I'm going to give you a part 2. So with that being said, you're going to have to come back and get part 2 of this exclusive on Monday, February the 9th, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Or hold on, let me do 6 because I know y'all work on Monday. I know y'all work on Monday and y'all don't want to be here to get it. So 6 o'clock Monday, we're going to release the fucking names. Ain't nobody safe. If the wrongly accused ain't safe, y'all motherfucking ass ain't safe. And it's time to create a Brady list for prosecutors because there are a lot of dirty white prosecutors, more dirty white prosecutors than any other race in the justice system. So, with that being said, I'll see you guys on Monday. But first, make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. Make sure you are liking the page. Make sure you turn them notifications on. Make sure you go and check out my book, Shut Up and Prosecute, that has more receipts in about this little dirty leprechaun. And then I'm going to release the receipts of his first assistant who lied to the federal government. Oh, yeah, I got those receipts that I need to show y'all. Yeah, because it's been a minute. So I'll see y'all on Monday at what time? Make sure y'all are doing what? Check in on when so you can see who and get what? The receipts about the lying, corrupt Dallas County District Attorney John fucking Creuzot.